You're welcome back, and if you've just joined in, you're still watching Enterprise Friday on Enterprise TV. Now to our main conversation. The federal government on Thursday put the immediate past governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, on its watch list to prevent him from escaping from the country.
Yes, the Nigerian Immigration Service, in a circular dated April 18, 2024, and signed by Assistant Comptroller of Immigration D.S. Umar for the Comptroller General Kemi Nandap, alerted the police and the Department of State Service to effect the former governor's arrest.
That's right. This came hours after the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission declared Bello wanted in connection to an alleged case of money laundering to the tune of 80.2 billion naira. The EFCC declared Bello wanted on its official Facebook page after a failed attempt to arrest him on Wednesday in Abuja.
Also, the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Lateef Fagbemi SAN and Abdul Wahab Muhammad SAN on Thursday disagreed over the failed attempt by the EFCC to arrest the former governor.
But the NIS, in its circular, copies of which were sent to the DSS and the police, detailed the name, nationality, and passport number of the former governor.
On its part, the EFCC also declared him wanted, as you can see the picture showing on your screen.
Right. Our guest for this segment is a legal luminary to do justice to the subject, and he is no other than the household Evan Sofeli. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. I mean, for the past 3 days, Yahaya Bello has been on the news for obvious reasons. Some people are saying that he might just be a specimen of the sort of people that power should not be, vested to. I mean, that's on one part. Looking at this report, conflicting legal, help me please. Orders and the rest of them, and then the grotesque approach from the part of the EFCC in arresting him. Now, the question I'd love for you to first of all attend to is: was he invited in the first place, and then refused to heed to that invitation that made the EFCC, even went to his apartment in Abuja to lay siege and then wanting to arrest? We see that the federal government has now placed him on the watch list. That will come later in the conversation. Tell us what the procedure is in the first place.
It was
invited.
Invited, yes. It was invited. After which a charge was filed against him. You know, that day you saw the EFCC and the DSS, although the current governor of the state and all that, having that drama.
Right.
That was on Thursday, yesterday, right? Now, okay, Wednesday, yes, on Wednesday. So that was actually, he was supposed to be arraigned, okay? He was supposed to be arraigned because there are already 5 charges against him for the alleged offense. Now, his lawyer, Yahaya Bello's lawyer, was in court.
Okay.
Then the EFCC prosecutors were also in court. Okay. They were in court. Kemi Pinero is a lawyer of EFCC on that case. They were all in court, and the lawyer to Yahaya Bello, told the court that there's a court order from Kogi State High Court restraining him, and he insisted that even the declaration, Yahaya Bello's declaration, the EFCC declaration of Yahaya Bello as wanted, is not legal because there's a court order restraining the EFCC from doing that. So when you look at the case, you just find out that the Supreme Court over and over and over have said that you cannot obtain a court order to restrain a law enforcement agency from carrying out their lawful function.
Okay.
You cannot.
Okay.
Yes. You can only obtain an order to restrain them from the abuse of power.
Oh.
You understand
Okay.
that? They must not use their power and abuse it, or they must not go outside that. Then you can get an order to restrain them from that. But you cannot restrain them, obtain a court order to restrain them from function, because the EFCC is created by an extant law, and that law empowered them to, investigate, prosecute, okay, And as long as that law has not been repealed, okay, it's still part of our laws, the EFCC have a power to do what they are doing. So they are, you know, they are engaged in their normal duty. In fact, if they were not doing what they are doing now, we would say they are in dereliction of their duties. Okay? So the governor needs to turn himself out. And that is why the Attorney General did a very smart thing yesterday. You know, he has to speak for the government.
Okay.
Turn yourself up to answer questions. You understand? These things are allegations. I don't know where Bello is running to. Where is he going to now? I just don't know. Where is he going to? Where is he going to? Now, all the border immigration and the rest of them have been, his passport and everything have been flagged. He's on watch list. So is he going to be arrested? Whether now or later. So his lawyer should advise him properly. As a governor that have, you know, held office for 8 years, he should know that the people gave him mandate, okay, to hold that office for 8 years. And if there's an allegation that funds were, you know, money laundering, there were diversion of funds and all that, he needs to go and answer for that. That's very important. Then for the governor of Ododo, who is using his authority as a state governor in bad light, must watch how he, because this is an offense under the law. Section 33, subsection 1 of the 1999 Constitution talks about the right to life, that every Nigerian have a right to life. Then when it gets to the exception, it said that your right to life will not be guaranteed by this Constitution if you have been convicted by a court of law on an offense for which the penalty is death, for which carries a death penalty. So your right to life will not be guaranteed because the state will take it. Then 2, where you constitute yourself or make yourself in manner that you resist arrests. Okay? 3, where there is insurrection, mutiny, riot, and the state, in the process of quelling the riot, insurrection, cannot guarantee the life of all citizens. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So, a governor who took an oath of office, Ododo took to defend the Constitution, this Constitution I just quoted now,
Right.
he's in breach of that law by using that, by doing what he's doing now. And I think this is very, very wrong.
Exactly, very true. Some would say history is repetitive, and I often love to draw my questions down memory lane to what such kind of case, how it happened in the past. Now let's take a look at the case of Dipriya Lamisia. He equally was charged for money laundering to the tune of $3 million. And as at the time, you know, it was stated that it was political infighting. Now, we won't deny the fact that Yahaya Bello is a party boy. Of course, he's done a lot for the APC. He was part of those who were instrumental to ensuring that Bola Ahmed Tinubu comes to center stage. And right now, there is this, you know, about him. So is it fair to say that this could be some sort of fallout, which we could term as political infighting?
Fallout from where?
Fallout on the space of maybe there's a rift that Nigerians are not seeing between.
I don't think there's a rift because the moment Bola Tinubu declared his interest, he told the public that his ambition now is to see how Bola Tinubu become the president. And he worked for Bola Tinubu throughout the process. He wanted to contest for president.
Yes.
But when Bola Tinubu declared, he took a backseat. Okay. Now, if you look at what is going on, this petition, I don't think is connected to government. I think it's the state, his state and the opposition. Because there are a lot of accusations tied to his style of governance. You understand? So many persons were offended. There was a university that sacked all the lecturers and brought new ones. Everybody.
But his man is in power. His man is in power. So how would it be that the state is...
There's an opposition political party in the state now. It's not only APC that's in that state. there's opposition political party. There's people who we have offended, people who are in government. He also have that tendency of paying half salary. So a lot of people are offended. When people are offended and they have little information, they go use it and write petition. So when they write a petition against you and the EFCC will now have to investigate, entrench and open it further and see that truly there's a prima facie case, they will go and they will cash on it, and that's exactly what has happened. I don't think the government, that's why the government came out yesterday to ask him to go and submit himself, so that you don't look as if the government is supporting him.
Oh, okay.
And the government have not said anything about it. People will accuse the government for being biased. And the government isn't saying anything about it. They look like the government does not want him prosecuted. So the government says, submit yourself. The Attorney General is speaking for the president. Yes, speaking for the government. So, and that is what he did yesterday. So the best thing I think he should do is to go to the EFCC. This is not the first time. We have governors that have been there. I mean, even the ones convicted. You know, Joshua Darie
of Plateau State.
And the other one from Taraba State. You understand? So let him go. You see, as it is now, he's complicating the case the more. He's making it look like he's guilty of the allegation.
Okay.
Yes, that's what they're doing, because now they are going to amend the charge sheet to be amended to include resisting arrest. You understand? Conducting himself in ways likely to breach public peace, before they now enter the main charges on the 8.2 billion naira. And the brothers who the FCC alleged are also accomplices in the case.
And the current chief of staff to Ododo.
Yes. Yeah. So the chief of staff of Ododo have no immunity. Ododo himself is the only one, and the deputy governor is the only one that have immunity. The children of Ododo have no immunity. His wife have no immunity. So that is how it is.
Oh, okay, so this brings me to my next question, which is not far-fetched. I mean, it's within the neighborhood of what Harry had asked. There's a proverbial saying that, before I remember that proverbial saying, Yahaya Bello has been accused of high-handedness, misuse of public funds, which, you know, takes us to where we talked about, you know, maybe some people within the state's premises are responsible for what is going on. Even though you have, since yesterday, you talked about how Yahaya is a scion of the current administration because he played a pivotal role in ensuring that Tinubu gets to power. That proverbial saying, there are no permanent friends in politics, only permanent interests. Don't you see? Okay, so take a look at the reporting lines from the EFCC. Some people are saying with so much acerbity that this is the hand of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I'm sorry to say that, but it's out there, allegedly so. Can you help us understand why people are already talking about this sort of thing, that Tinubu might be responsible for dealing with Yahaya Bello for reasons maybe best known to him?
Well, we will not analyze rumors that have no bearing or that have no anchorage on evidence.
Right.
Yes, because our output, our analysis in the show is going to be consumed by different persons in society with different level of intellection. So if this is analyzed from the standpoint of the rumor from the Bush radio, the Bush radios where it's not very clear what they are saying, but we just people have a right to say whatever they want to say. They have a duty to air their opinion, okay? But until we find some kind of evidence, it will be difficult to hold it as a truth or to put it out there as a truth. It will be difficult because I, for example, have not seen that rancor between them. There are people who know more than I do, who may have privileged information that I do not have.
Right.
That could be true, may be true, may not be true. But since there is uncertainty as to the truthfulness of that assertion, it's better to leave it on the line to say that if such exists and the president is doing that to a party man and to all that, then let them bear the consequences of that. It's their personal whatever.
Okay, so speaking of the
But
approach, okay.
If it's true, or the allegation is to the fact that some funds of this nature, then the EFCC should do its job. But what the EFCC is saying is that this is a case of money laundering. Okay? So, what you need to do is to go and defend that. Defend it. Disprove. We know what forms money laundering. So if the EFCC is making that allegation, it does not conform to the legal requirement of money laundering, we defend it.
All right. So speaking of evidence, you are a lawyer and you know better on the importance of evidence to everything. Now, the Kogi State government has come up now to say that they are faulting the charge. According to Punch newspaper, they are describing it as ridiculous and laughable, saying the state had no missing funds. This is coming from the state government right now. Now the question is, how do we now make sense of this when the state government is saying there's no missing funds, the EFCC is saying there's money laundering charges? How do we make sense of this, knowing that we have to work with the state government to work?
The money laundering offense need not be state money. You can be charged for money laundering. There's a threshold that you must not move without moving it through the bank system. You know what I'm saying? See, anybody here can be charged for money laundering. So the states must not tie it to themselves.
What is
I know
state
they
money?
charge. No, hold on.
Okay.
We're talking about money laundering, right? What I'm trying to tell you is that for you to commit the offense of money laundering, a businessman, a private businessman, can be charged for money laundering.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Except when the charge now draws the line that you, as Governor Yahaya Bello, on so day, commit an offense contrary to so law by moving so money belonging to the Kogi State government. If the charge says so, whether it belongs to the Kogi State government or it belongs to him or it belongs to any other person, the requirement, you must meet that requirement of money laundering.
Oh, okay.
You know that the EFCC most times, to be fair to them, they do a lot of work. Okay, but sometimes when they charge you and still the person has embezzled 800 billion, 80 billion, 200 billion. Do you understand? Now, they will not prefer a charge sheet based on that. And when they get to court, what the court wants you to do is to provide the evidence to the tune of your charge. Count one. If you cannot bring the evidence to the description or expression of your count one, that means count one has failed against the suspect, the defendant. You don't understand? Each of the charge must succeed on the strength of evidence.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes.
Yes. If you have 3 count charges, one says maybe the suspect misappropriated 1 billion. On so event also. Charge 2, say he misappropriated 3 billion. Charge 3, say so billion. When you sum everything up together, they say 80 point something billion, right?
Yeah.
Now, when you get to court during prosecution, you are now going to, the prosecution must produce evidence of that 1 billion misappropriated for count charge 1. Produce another set of evidence for count charge 2 that must be in tune. Once there is discrepancy between your evidence and your charge, that charge has failed. You don't understand?
Yes.
Because in criminal prosecution, you must prove the charge, what you have on the charge sheet beyond reasonable doubt. And the law is that once you are unable to prove beyond reasonable doubt, that case must be resolved in the favor of the defendant.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Barrister
So
Evans.
the fact that the Abel is running up and down like this does not mean EFCC will win in court.
Oh, really?
No, it doesn't mean they will win in court. It doesn't mean that they will win in court. That's why I asked him to go and submit himself. I don't know what he did. You understand? But this route is taken in not the right. If he had submitted himself to court, he would have been charged since. By now, he would have known the terms of bail. Being an ex-governor, the bail term, the bail condition, he can easily get his friends to stand as sureties for him. And now, by now, he'll be back home. He'll be back home because it's a bailable offense. So that's why I don't know why he's running up and down.
All right.
There's no way he will not be tried for this case.
But the question is, why aren't the lawyers, his lawyers, of course, giving him this verifiable...
Yeah, I'm stating what the law says, what you should do when... Because if the case turns out in your favor, you sue EFCC for reference of fundamental rights or for malicious prosecution.
All right.
Let's not just conclude that EFCC have won the case because the man is running up and down. The man might be guilty of money laundering, and EFCC may still fail in court if they don't prosecute the right way. Because EFCC must prosecute on the strength of their case and not on the weakness of the defendant's case.
All right. Thank you so much, Barrister Evans. Before we go, we'd love to have your final thoughts on the issue of his security details being removed from him. We saw that in the news. And I like that you touched on Ododo's role in all of this. What do you think should be his comeuppance so that other governors who would want to abuse power can take a clue from that?
You cannot do, there's nothing you can do to Ododo.
Right.
The only authority that has power to deal with Ododo is the State House of Assembly of Kogi State. If we're in a sane democratic system, by now, the news of Ododo's impeachment would have overshadowed this Bello's case. Because the Speaker, they will, two-thirds majority, that's what they need to serve a notice of impeachment. Final impeachment, they need one-third. You understand? So, by now, they would have been talking about how to ease him off of his duty as a governor. But in Nigeria, Parliament in the state don't even know their function. Because they go to the governor for the governor to help them secure their return. They get anointed. Then they go to the ex-governor Yahaya Bello, kneel down in his parlor beg to obtain a re-anointing to ensure that they will come back. That's how they get to stay in the house for as long as possible. So is it those kind of parliaments that will now come out and say they want to impeach the governor because he went to rescue the ex-governor?
All right.
They will not do that. So.
Thank you so much, Barrister Evans. We've been speaking with Barrister Evans Ufeli, the consummate legal egghead, and has been our guest for today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much for having me.
Thank you.
Yes.
Henry, why do I feel like I should go back to school to study law? Because I just love all of the theatrics we've been looking at today on the program.
Yeah, it's very, very engaging and interesting. But at the same time, I think I would love to focus more on, the clarion call for not too young to run. That was, Yahaya Bello came into power when he was about 40 or thereabout. Right. He's about 48 now.
Right.
And the question still boils on the essence of what this would mean for younger people, if really with this, if young people will be given the opportunity to serve in the future. That's just where I have my little issue, if you ask me.
Okay, thank you so much for your thoughts, Henry. All right, on that note, we wrap the program today. Thank you so much for being a part of it. You can follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. Have a nice day.
Bye-bye for me.
Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.